Hey everyone, what's going on? Ryan here, episode 4 of the podcast. I hope everyone has had a great week since the last time we spoke. If you been following on the podcast, this is episode 4. We're up to 4 episodes. 4 episodes. It's great. Talking a little bit about our mileage coming up, but first, how awesome is spring? How bloody awesome is spring? Spring is here, and if you've been listening to the podcast, you would know in my previous episodes. Only 4. We're only up to number 4, so you can always go back here. You're not too far gone to catch up. If you've noticed, the rains have been coming. They're coming along and they're kind of waking up and providing some nutrients and some water to all the animals, all a bit of nature that's waking up. Creatures are being born. New seedlings are sprouting out of the earth. It's awesome, really, it is. And it means we're getting closer to my favourite time of the year, which is summer. So that's fantastic. Spent a little bit of time out in the garden over the weekend, did the lawns. Probably going to look at getting a little edger to tidy up the edges because it just looks ugly if there's like long bits on the lawn. And managed to tidy up the little vegetable garden box. Going to be starting to put some scraps and coffee grinds in there. Going to start getting some nutrients back in the soil before some new vegetables go in. So I'll probably be posting up a few little videos along its little journey, a few pictures. So if you haven't followed us already on Instagram, be sure to check it out. There's a whole bunch of the stuff like workouts that I'm doing at the moment, stuff on my running, just anything I really want to post up there, right? Maybe food if I'm hungry, but also the little veggie garden. I think it'll be quite cool, given what we've noticed with the pandemic we've experienced, being able to like get some of your own food seems like a pretty cool idea, particularly if you ever went into the supermarket and you're like, oh damn, there's no broccoli, and then that's right, I got broccoli at home. So news on that front will probably put up on Instagram, probably share a little bit about it here on the podcast. But yeah, spring's on its way. Get excited, everybody. It's going to be really, really cool. On the mileage front. Now, on the mileage front for the runs, I am up to 60k, so just short of 60k to be honest. 59.49 kilometers, up 15.3 kilometers from the previous week, which is not too bad. There was no 10k run. Oh, what a burp. No 10k run on the weekend. Did a bit of circuit training with kettlebells on Sunday, and then followed by a 3.8k run. A lot of the aerobic benefits from exercise, I'll be going through that in a YouTube video coming out in the next couple of days. But a lot of the like psychological benefits to exercise does come from the elevated heart rate. Kind of pushing yourself and working yourself against the grader. And seeing how far you can push yourself. So did a bit of that, followed by a bit of a run at the end, which was quite good. On that note, though, speaking about the 10k runs, I'm still planning to do the 21ks at the end of the month. What I've noticed though throughout, prioritizing running into my exercise and trying to focus on that a little bit more, is there other aspects of my exercise program or things I like doing do get affected. Now, they haven't really been affected per se in the results, because getting into my new gym routine, I've been seeing a lot of results, improve, in my strength and my ability, and probably a little bit of size in some areas more than others. But one thing, I can understand where the hard gainers are saying, hey, look, if you really want to develop muscle and size, then, cardio, isn't really the option, and it's like, I'm not a little bit too sure about that. Like, yeah, I get it that if I do, say, 10, 12k on a Sunday, my physical performance at the gym is dropped. Like, it drops dramatically, but if I say am doing up to say 5k, initially gives my body time to recover before I head into the gym. Now, it's not like I'm doing the 10K run and expecting to go smash out a huge leg workout session, but the idea of still incorporating cardio or some form of aerobic, exercise into your exercise program is probably not going to affect your gains as much as you think. So moving forward, I'm going to be, running probably about, 5Ks max, spread out throughout the week, because I still want those that are, the cardio benefit, the benefit you get from your lungs, the benefit you get from your heart, the benefits you get from like your ability to, use energy when you need it. All those things I feel are essential to the part of the human body, and to neglect them would be kind of silly. So I agree with like real hard gainers about building size and things like that, but at the same time, like not everyone is out there to try build size either, and a lot of people maybe want to incorporate the best of both worlds. I think you could probably still be putting on size and still smashing out a bit of cardio. It's probably not going to hurt you. And I think over the weekend when I was like going through looking for papers and studies and things like that, some are saying that like you lose your cardio benefits faster than you lose your strength benefits. So keeping it a little bit more regular, keeping cardio in a little bit more of a routine, even if it's like a couple of times a week, particularly for people that are avid gym goers that are trying to put on size, it's probably not a bad thing. Have a rest day and do a run instead. It doesn't have to be intense. So moving forward, again, really want to still incorporate running into my program, but I really also want to focus on some other things and try get as much benefit from different forms of exercise that target different parts of the body, and again, to neglect the cardiovascular system, I don't know, it just seems a little bit silly. So that's kind of that on the running front. As for my shoulder, tricep, elbow thing, if you've been following along, had a really good chest session yesterday. Went in, had a good attitude when I went into the gym. We'll speak a little bit more on that in a minute, but went in, did really well, did better than what I thought. Slowly building up my strength-based, lifts, so like your bench press and your squats. So seeing some strength gains, a bit of coming back from lockdown. I haven't really been, like you said, I've been pushing myself, but just with the shoulder and getting a little bit more confident with it, seems to be all right. A part of me feels like this could be, part exercise, but also where I sit and use my elbow, or I lean on my tricep, or even how I sleep. I don't really think this is a serious injury at all. I actually think this is more maybe something going on in my personal life with maybe how I sleep, or where I need a little bit of self-diagnosis and just kind of understanding, hey, how have you been using your arm? Where have you been using it? Are you putting pressure on it? Are you putting weight on it? And I find myself sometimes when I'm sitting at the desk, I am, and it's like, well, hey, could that be affecting my performance with it at the moment? But in every other aspect, it's working fine. Just slowly building up those shoulder workouts, slowly putting on the weight there. But as for chest is fine. So it's really up when I'm pushing upwards on that shoulder presses is when I'm starting to see any kind of niggling or restriction would be the best, because it feels like I'm restricted, because I noticed, I don't like to call it pain, but I noticed the feeling, and it's like, well, I'm more focusing now, am I affecting this in any way? So I don't know. Other than that, it seems to be good. So I encourage people, whether you feel like it's a serious injury or not, remember to go get it checked out. Remember to go get a professional to have a look at it. And hey, if the professional recommends, hey, if you're not really feeling like-minded, start putting a little bit of weight. Don't go overboard. Do some dumbbell skull crushes and just see how your body works with that. And the strength is improving, so maybe it's not as bad as a serious injury. Bit of self-diagnosis is important. but always get those injuries, get those niggling feelings checked out, because it could be, it could be kicked in the butt straight away, rather than letting it dwindle for a year. Oh, I've always had that pain in my leg, and then all of a sudden, something serious has gone on. So, yeah, always recommend go see a professional. Go if you've got some kind of healthcare system in your country, use it. That's what it's there for. And yeah, I know here in New Zealand, I've probably made recommendations in the past. I really like going to Active Physio. That's just my personal preference. That's where I've gone. And most of the time, you just ask them, hey, could be the problem? And have you got some exercise or some stretches that could maybe improve it? Do those exercises and stretches. If it starts to go away, that's all you needed. And it didn't cost you an arm and a leg. You didn't have to start taking drugs or anything like that to make the pain go away. So, yeah, always get it checked out. So, 10 minutes in. Let's talk a little bit about energy levels at the gym. This will be my little rant or things to talk over for the remainder of the podcast. And I think it's really important because a lot of our gains come from the energy we put out at the gym. Now, there's many things that factor the energy at your energy at the gym, and like one of those things could be like the meals and the drinks you've had prior. If you're working a very physical job and you haven't been hydrating throughout the day, you may actually feel a lot more fatigued than you really would be if you continuously stayed hydrated throughout the day. If you're drawn to the sugary drinks like the Monsters and that, oh sorry for the chair. If you're drawn to the sugary drinks and stuff like that, maybe just get like a Gatorade, maybe a Powerade, something a bit with the isotonics in it. Get yourself hydrated. If you've been sweaty, if you feel like you got a bit smelly, remember to take your deodorant to the gym, but remember to stay hydrated. Remember to don't eat too soon before workouts. If you are hungry before the gym, I personally like to use the creamed rice. I get my vanilla cream rice. I smash that back probably about 10 minutes before I go to the gym, 15, 20 minutes before I go to the gym. I'm doing a bit of a warm-up. Remember, your body needs time to digest these things. It needs to send, energy. It needs to send oxygen. It needs to send blood to get these things working. So, eating a huge meal prior is probably not the best idea. But, a little snack like the cream rice, I have no problems with it. It gives me that little boost of fuel. Sometimes little lollies are fine, sugary lollies. The sour worm's always my favourite, something like that. Have a few of them on board, if you're feeling a little bit drained from the gym. You don't really need pre-workout every time you go to the gym. You don't really need pre-workout. Just drink the right stuff and eat the right meals, eat the right food prior, and you should have no problems at all. Alrighty. Your attitude is probably the next thing we need to talk about when you go into the gym. Your attitude is probably really important, because if you're going into the gym and your attitude is shit, you're going to perform like shit. And I really do mean that. I really do believe that the mindset you go into with the gym, your attitude that you have when you go into the gym, is really going to affect your performance. So you need to, which moves into kind of like the second point, the third point, which is your plan or your program. Like, what are you actually doing? Like, what are you trying to achieve? I think everybody there'll be someone out there, nah, bro, I've never fucking felt like I haven't been motivated to achieve my goals at the gym. Bro, I think everybody has. Everyone has that little down point. Maybe that little power lifter, has an injury and, it's put him off for the competition he wanted to do, or the bodybuilder, something happened with his macros and, I don't know, something fucked up there. My point being is I think everyone might have a down point, and then they know that going to the gym is a part of their life, a part of their routine. So what are they actually going in for? And sometimes you need to reevaluate that. I've been hearing people, say that a lot of reevaluation came once gyms were reopened. A lot of people were wondering, hey, all this, attention that I was giving to my workout, I'd go to work, I'd, pay attention to my meals, I pay attention to my program, what I was working for, but, maybe competitions are cancelled, or maybe, you've just lost that drive. Maybe you need to re-look at your program, your plan, your goals, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get to what you need to do. So When you know what you're trying to achieve, you can have the right attitude. You can go in and say, all right, I'm smashing my legs today, because maybe I want big legs. So you smash out legs, you know what you're focusing, you know the work that you're doing. You know what you're trying to achieve, and I feel like that's when you can become a bit more of a time watcher, is when you don't know what you're trying to work towards, or you don't know what you're trying to achieve. So a time watcher is like one of two things. So one of the reasons is people trying to make up time, you know. So they're just like, well, if I spend 45 minutes here, then that means I've done a good workout, right? And they don't really think about the effort that they're putting in. They don't think about what things they need to be focusing on, the energy and the effort and the attitude that they're putting into the workout. And then also there's the other people on the time watching thing, is the people who don't know what they're doing when they're there. So they might have the idea of, I want to look, say, shredded, or I want to look, I want slabs of meat on me, I want to be jacked, or, I want to lose weight, I want to become healthy or more active. They've got these ideas, but they don't know how they're going to work towards them. So they're always figuring out, well, hey, well, I did legs yesterday, so do I do chest today? And do I start on the bench, or you're not really defining what it is you're doing. And when you're too busy focusing on what it is you could be doing, you're not focusing enough attention on the actual exercise and workout. And for me, I feel that's quite important. Building a mind-muscle connection. You often hear it's being said or thrown around, but I really do believe there's some truth to that. And being able to focus on, hey, I'm doing incline dumbbell press for 8 reps at 28 kgs. That you're focusing on that lift. You're focusing on how you're bringing those weights down. You're feeling the contractions and stuff in your chest. You're feeling about how stable that the weight is in your hand, and if your wrists and your forearms are being able to manage the weight there. You can spend more time actually focusing on your workout. You can spend more time on, how does the muscle supposed to feel? What part of the muscle am I working out? Am I doing the workout correctly? Because after a while, after you start to still, start to build a bit of muscle, you start to feel the pain from, building muscle. You can start focusing on where it actually feels good. So when you do develop, your technique, or you go into a different exercise, or if you're looking at changing your program, you know what you're actually targeting. You know what you're meant to be feeling. It's all good just hitting the bench and saying, yeah, I feel it in my chest, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that. So when you have a program, when you have a plan, when you've got an idea, you've got a goal of what you're trying to achieve, what you're focusing on. Maybe you feel like your legs didn't grow big enough during your last program before your comp, and you realize you needed to do a little bit more legs. Hey, you work that out. You know that your goal is to, be the quad father. You're focusing a bit more attention on the legs, still giving that attention to the other muscle groups, obviously, but you know what you're doing. You're not confused. You're not stuck figuring it out. And I personally, I think that's what factors into your energy levels at the gym. There's been times personally where I've gone to the gym, didn't have a clear idea of what I was doing, and I didn't feel like I got good results on the day. So maybe I didn't feel the pump, maybe I didn't feel like exhausted, maybe I didn't feel like I expended more energy than I could. It's kind of like you're killing time there, and you're not actually getting the results. But when you start to write down, focus on what it is you're trying to achieve, trying to build muscle, focus on, maybe it's a numbers game for you. Maybe you want to improve your bench. Well, start working on what it is that needs to be done to improve your bench. Start focusing on, hey, what numbers am I doing at the moment? What numbers do I want to get to? And what is our best way to get there? And that can be implemented in, again, against any exercise, not just building your chest, not just trying to build those, strength-based exercise, your bench, your shoulder press, your squat, your deadlift. They can be applied in any other aspect of your workout, any other program, whether if it's rowing, if you're playing netball, what have you. If you want to improve your performance, if you want to improve how well you're doing, you've got to have the right energy levels and go into that. And it's not always to do with the meals and the food that you're eating. A lot of it's in your head, and a lot of it's what you've planned down, ready to go. and attack. You need a game plan when you go into the gym. There's no point going into the gym and mucking around and going, oh, that exercise looks cool. Yeah, I'll go do that exercise. It doesn't work like that. So this is not a criticism to anyone that does it. Some people may be able to, work out that way. Maybe they're at a place where they want to are maintaining their ability, maintaining their performance, but you still need to have a point where you're actually pushing yourself. There's still a point where you're actually trying to, hey, even maintaining your current fitness level is still a goal. So how are you going to achieve it? So again, your energy levels will determine how well you perform at the gym, and there's a few things to it. To recap them again, it will be your meals and drinks. Are you hydrated? Have you ate the right food for the day? Am I feeling a little bit hungry? Am I feeling a little bit dehydrated, a little bit tired, a little bit thirsty? Is my piss like yellow as? Maybe those are some hints. Okay, your attitude. Your attitude to your training, your attitude to the gym. I'm turning up to the gym to smash it out. I'm turning up the gym because I want to build muscle. I'm turning up to the gym because I want to run a marathon. I'm turning up to the gym because I want to lose some weight. I'm turning up to the gym because I want to have more energy with my family. I'm turning up to the gym because I want to look better when I go out at night. All those reasons. You've got the right attitude. You're going in. You're going to hit the gym. You're going to smash it out. All right. You know what you want to achieve? Well, how am I going to get there? You turn up to the gym, you know what you're doing. I'm working chest today, well, I got bench. You might have some dips in there, you might want to hit a little bit of your triceps. Maybe you want to even do a bit of lat pull downs. You know what you're doing, you know what your goals are, you know how it's going to improve you to where you want to be. You've got a plan, you've got something to act on. You're not focusing on the time because you've tailored your plan based on the time you had, remember? Anything's possible. You just got to, adapt to the environment that you're in, the time that you've given. Now, sometimes, and I'll put a little side note on this, sometimes you'll realize that, hey, my goal has been unrealistic based on the level of time and effort that I wanted to put in. Now, there's times when you may realize that. There's times when, especially a good exercise professional needs to kind of, let people be aware that, hey, your goal may be a little bit unrealistic for the amount of time and energy you want to put in. Regardless, if you do get to that point, you can still adjust. And, this is, again, where you will have to reprogram, replan around your goals. And it may be putting more time into the gym, or maybe focusing a little bit more on the diet. Less time focusing on what you need to do, more time focusing on your mind-muscle connection. May be as cheesy or underrated as it may sound. I know some people do think it's weird, but I do think, the nervous system, the body, everything is very well connected. It is designed to function in a way that we've been using it for the last couple of thousand years. So let's maximize it. Let's think about what we're doing. Focus on your contractions. Focus on the stability. Focus on how easy the weight is. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to push through some of those barriers. Again, your energy levels at the gym isn't just based on pre-workout. It's based on many other factors before you head into the gym and while you're there. Anyway, that's been my little energy levels rant for the podcast. I hope everyone's had a great little listen. If you haven't followed us on Facebook, be sure to head over to facebook.com/Apex Performance NZ. There you can like our page, and we'll be posting up our podcast content. You'll see the veggies, you'll see the garden, you'll see all sorts of little stuff there. Maybe some ideas on how to improve your workout. Maybe even some ideas on how others train, etc. Lots of cool information coming up. Lots of information about what I'm doing, what I'm training, little experiments that I'm being doing at the moment. Obviously being with the running, going to be trying something new. So be sure to follow us up over there on Facebook. We do have a website, www.apexperformance.xyz. If you head over there, you can see the blog, you can see some information. Kind of snazzy it up a little bit, trying to make it a little bit more attractive. Bear with me, but we're going to be putting content up there. Going to kind of have if you want any parts of the content, you're going to find it at the website, obviously. A lot of other platforms like Instagram, some of the content's probably going to be tailored a little bit more suited to the platform for obvious reasons. Anyway, that's me for today. I hope everyone, again, has had a great week. Continue to have a great week. Stay hard. Focus on your energy levels at the gym, your attitude. Remember why you're going into the gym, why you're trying to achieve what you want to achieve. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Peace.